Hey crypto bros, hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are and you're enjoying the current state of the market. We have some short-term price analysis we need to look at because I think the bulls do have a chance overall to really regain this and bring us above the 30,000 key psychological level. We're going to talk about the Pulsechain chart, where we could actually be heading in terms of where the sellers can be. We're going to be talking about Zen as well too. The strategy is playing out as expected. So let's go ahead and get started into the video, guys. If you enjoy content like this, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up because it does help me out a lot. It lets me know that you are appreciating the fact that I'm coming out with these strategies for you and keeping up to date on where you should be taking your trades overall. So let's go ahead and get into the video, guys. So this is the 2-day strategy signal. Now, how you would go about taking this particular strategy is what you want to see is you want to see BBWP really below the 34 percentile or lower on the 2-day, followed by a touch of the 55-day moving average. Now, you can actually trade this based off of wicks or closures close to the 55-day moving average. So just apply risk management, back test it. But from what I've gathered in terms of the data, we can see about the mean of 49% and an average day of completion of 63 days. Now, with that being said, where does that actually put us in terms of the price action? Well, we already got the 55-day touch right here, as you can see in this particular, very close to the 55-day moving average, followed by low volatility reading. Now, that doesn't mean we can actually come back, retest, to $28,400 area. We can definitely retest that, revisit it to ensure that this is acting as a good support plateau for the bulls to actually take us up a lot higher from here. Now, with that being said, what I'm expecting in the next few closures is that, testing just in the region of 28,500. However, what I'm seeing and what I want to see is that in the next daily closure that we close above 29,300. Currently we are trading about $55 below that. So if we can actually maintain 29,300, we will have an upside shot at the 30k psychological level. So with that being said, again, this strategy is playing out. I have taken this particular trade and I do have my actual stop loss just set around the 27,500 area. That would basically invalidate this particular trade. So this trade I'm particularly taking, and one of the reasons that I'm taking this particular trade is because we are very close to where we could see actual potential sellers in the DXY. So as we can see here, we can see that we've been talking about how the 103 area could be a very key area for the DXY where sellers can actually come in. We can start to see that this particular candle is actually turning red. However, I'm most likely thinking in the next day or so, which in the weekly closure today is actually Thursday, by Friday tomorrow, more likely we're gonna try to get another upside leg on particular into this. If we are not able to get above this particular resistance line of 103, then more likely this is actually putting a lower high in terms of the DXY, and then more so that we're gonna see again risk on assets do a lot better. Hopefully Bitcoin retesting again that 30,000 key psychological level. So we're gonna start to more likely see a downtrend with lower highs, in terms of this, with lower highs and lower lows on the DXY, which will give opportunity for the bulls in terms of the Bitcoin side to get going. Now, one other thing that I want to add in particular to this thesis is that we're actually on the 2-day starting to see on the stochastics, we can see we've put in lower lows. We're starting to see the actual crossing of the EMAs to the upside, to the north side. So if you can see here, guys, we can plot this out, lower lows, while on price action you are putting in higher highs on the 2-day. This gives you an opportunity again for a bounce. So the DXY again facing some key resistance. Our strategy playing out with the 55-day moving average with low volatility, and we are starting to see again the stochastic putting in bullish hidden divergence, meaning a continuation in the trend. What is the actual trend? As you can see, just zooming out and looking at this, we can see that we've been in an uptrend, all the way since coming back of December 2022, starting these nice rallies to the upside and hopefully bouncing off of that 55-day moving average and then continuing on from there. Now, I don't have an actual short side trade in particular to my strategies, so those are actually closed out. In the next week or so, I'm looking for the opportunity for the bulls to actually get going from here. Again, so this is what I'm expecting. Again, my stop loss is set around 27,500, guys. All right, so one other thing that we want to essentially go over in terms of Zen, real quick here, guys. So we can see we are playing out as we were expecting in terms of the range delta indicator that we were discussing over the past few weeks here to a month, in terms of where we could actually see a bounce for Zen. So every time we've seen these drives from swing highs to swing lows in terms of Zen, there have been follow-ups to retest the resistance of the 55 EMA. So with that being said, when do we actually start to see that retest of the 55 EMA? Well, when you start to actually get a closure, the high candle sheet closure candles below this particular yellow candle, and then come down to the mid or lower side of the again the purple line, getting really close to the purple line or mid region of this particular range delta. And that basically is starting to signal we are getting close, to a swing low, and then, just shifting off from that swing low to a swing high to the 55-day moving average. Now, keep in mind, guys, the full extension of this particular move hasn't been seen yet, because the mean average of this just brings us about 28%. Now, 28%, again, brings us down to where the all-time lows are for Zen. So maybe coming down to the mid region again of the range delta, as you can see here, guys, will put us in terms of price action right here, guys. So coming down to the range delta here would see us in this particular retesting the all-time lows. Now again, we could consolidate range in this particular area on the lower time frames for a bit, hoping that the range delta does come down to the mid region and then we get the bounce. If that was the case, if we were to get the bounce from where we are currently, guys, that would actually bring you just about 25% to the 55-day moving average. Now keep in mind, this is going to be, again, the resistance just about 8%. So if we can break off of that, then most likely target is retesting that 55 EMA. Again, so this is playing out very nicely, closing below that yellow line. So it is going as planned in terms of that. Let's go ahead and just quickly talk about Pulsechain, because I know some subscribers are particularly into Pulsechain. So what I want to focus on is this particular candle. As you can see, there was a long, massive wick, guys. Now with this wick, this basically can indicate that there is an actual bottom region into this particular area where buyers and sellers are agreeing, hey, maybe this is a good area to actually bounce off of. Now again, based off of the news of what's been happening with the SEC in terms of going after Richard Heart's ecosystem, the only thing that I would advise, macro long-term looking at this, would be really getting above this key critical area right here, guys, which is coming around the 919 area. Now, with that being said, you are trailing below the 55 move EMA. Currently, you are on the 4-hourly closing above the 21 EMA, which is good, regaining that particular area. If we look at the MACD, guys, so as long as we're below above 499 in price action, so we're currently again 661, but as long as we're again above 499 on the 4-hourly, this will continue to see again the upside movement that we've been seeing in terms of Pulsechain. So far this is good. Now this is the 4-hourly chart on OKX, guys. So far we got a very nice, again, bullish candle, long wick. Again, the buyers and the sellers agreeing this might be a nice plateau for an actual bounce. But again, for us to really, make anything of this and not have this act as a lower high overall, because what could be happening is, again, this could be putting in a lower high right here, guys, and then just, start swinging again to the downside from here on, from here on out. But what I'm particularly looking for is, again, for Pulsechain to really get above this particular region ranging back into that, you know, consolidation area above you know, 911 area, guys. Anyways, I'll leave you off with this. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Until next time, bros, as always, stay profitable.